Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I tried doing a reading the other night, and I was just in a lousy headspace. It was on the submersible, and from the reading, what I did get from it was that the search parties, it was lots of governments doing the search. They were optimistic, looking for it, and during the read, I felt like there was an explosion and that they'll find the submersible and they will understand what the why the submersible lost contact. I don't think though that they're going to find any survivors. I'm in a much better headspace today. Thank you very much. So I'm going to follow up with on that reading just to get a feel for what's the current vibe with the search for that lost submersible, and then will they recover any survivors from it. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is really a horrible thing to have happen. I mean, fortunately, the submersible had oxygen enough for 4 days. And, they're a couple days in, so they have a couple days left to find it. But, it doesn't take a real stretch of one's imagination to feel like if there was something to rescue, they would have done it by now. I mean, the radio's not working and they can't get in contact with it. And you have a bunch of people looking for it. They should be able to find it. So, again, for entertainment purposes only, my condolences to anybody who knows anybody that was on board that submersible. All right, let's see. What's the current, Spirit, if you would give us a little guidance, what's the current situation with the search for this submersible that was going to look at the Titanic? King of Swords. Okay. I think there's like a grimness to it. They know they've got a job to do, but things are looking grim. That's not a happy card. That's a reality card crossed with another reality card. I know that this submersible went down. One of the things that happened with it was there was weather that was happening at the time, and they got a window with which to do their to go visit the Titanic and dive down to it. And so they took that window, and I'm wondering if that window is closing on the searches. The King of Swords by the Queen of Swords. It's the compassion of we need to keep looking versus the reality of there's nothing to find, and even the optimistic person realizes there's probably nothing to find. This is almost like we'll be lucky if we find the submersible and recover the bodies, and this one is like we may not recover either. That's kind of, I think, the situation that we're in right now. I don't think I've ever pulled both the King and the Queen of Swords in the same throw. In the past, the Four of Cups, you had 4 days of oxygen. One oxygen was gone. I don't think even from the get-go they were optimistic, but I mean, the cards were against them. Now, this could also be the submersible. They had weather where they couldn't actually go out, and then an opportunity came and they took that opportunity. That may not have been the wisest choice as things work out. Current situation, Queen of Pentacles. I think this is them looking for that submersible. They would really like to find it. It'll probably be, if they're survivors, great. But even if there aren't survivors, it's valuable to find that submersible, to find out what happened and bring closure to the family of the folks on board that craft. Overarching energy is the world. This, I think the world is watching. The world is involved with this. And, it's interesting. It also kind of brings it full circle with the Titanic, right? They're bringing down a craft to go down to the Titanic, and it's bringing an end to that cycle. Here's a few more people to join to it. Now, it's funny, I got this card yesterday, and then I got the Judgment card, which was a wild card in this position. Not this time, however. Now we've got the Nine of Wands. I think it's that realization setting in that we have very little time left. We have, today and tomorrow, and that's about it if we're going to have any success in finding survivors. And then the outcome is disappointment. They're not going to find survivors. They're going to be just Well, it's betrayal, but I don't think it's betrayal. I think they're not going to find. I don't think they're going to find survivors on this one. It's a very emotional time, though. Passions and emotions are running high with this. I imagine with the rescuers as well as with the family members on this one. But these cards do not give me the warm fuzzies that they are going to find survivors on this. Okay. Let's find out. Let's just ask the question straight up. Will they find survivors? These things mixed up again. Will the rescuers rescue any of the passengers of that submersible alive? Maybe we can find out if they actually recover. And the thing that was interesting about the judgment card is you've got somebody blowing a horn down on the caskets and the people reaching up. And when I was reading it yesterday, the horn is a perfect analogy for a sonar, isn't it? Because you have a device, a sound emitting device that's waiting for the echo. And what's down on the bottom that they're echoing? It's the wreck of the Titanic. The graveyard for all those people on the Titanic. It was a wild reading. I wish I was in a good headspace to actually finish the reading and post it. Nothing horrible. It was more work related and I was having a rough day yesterday. Much better day today. Thank you. Okay. Will they find any surviving members on that submersible? Will they rescue and be able to rescue any surviving members? Okay. Let's see what we get. Star card. Well, that's a hopeful card for sure. Let's see what's underneath it. Fools. Oh, that's not good. Okay. On a really optimistic note, it would say yes between the Star card and the Celebration, but this Ten of Swords. Now, on the most optimistic way I could look at this is they do get survivors right at the end of the search. They took a chance on a new place. They looked in a new place and got lucky and found them. And then there was much celebrating. However, I think what this is more saying is that they aren't giving up hope in finding them, but even that hope might not be in finding surviving people. I think what their hope is now, it's the new journey and in their memories, which is finding the wrecked craft, the wrecked submersible. And there'll be celebration. They will find it. They will find the wrecked craft, but I don't think they're going to find survivors. Let me throw clarifiers. Let me throw clarifiers on that Ten of Swords. What can you tell me about that Ten of Swords? I'm trying to hold it all together. Death. Oh, there you go. Oh man. Okay. I think what happened was, it's the end. They know that they're not going to rescue anybody alive, and there might have been, and this came up yesterday too. I would not be surprised if you find that there was some type of catastrophic failure, obviously, with this submersible, but that it was a recurring problem, like something that had been in for maintenance and they had fixed something, and maybe that's something they had fixed, let go. I don't think they're going to find survivors on this one. I really don't. Not with that Death card and the Devil coming up. I think they might be able to recover the craft or recover the bodies. If they're able to recover the bodies, maybe they could leave them on the bottom of the ocean in a watery grave, but I suspect that they will find them. Okay. Not the most uplifting reading. My apologies, but that's kind of what I get, and that's how it goes sometimes. So, if you have a moment and the desire to, send some light to the families send some light to the souls on that submersible on the off chance that they're still alive and can be rescued. Send light to the rescuers themselves to keep them bolstered emotionally while they're dealing with this. It's a hard time, I'm sure, for everyone on there, and we do what we can as a collective to help everyone out. Okay, thank you for your help on this. Thank you for supporting my channel, and thank you for everything you've done. I really do appreciate it. Take care.